Welcome, weary internet traveler, to the Joy of Nietzsche. This episode, I present a bouquet of blossoms broken from a fertile field called Nietzschean poetry. Though in my attempts to play the philosophical florist, I am so clumsy that even my most gracious acts towards such flowers are almost always murderous. Let this not in the least detract from our pleasure in the resulting arrangement. So please join me in my gracious but inevitably clumsy massacre of a field of Nietzschean flowers in his poem, My Roses. Yes, my joy just wants to make joy. Indeed, all joys just want more joy. Would you, my roses, thus employ? Then must one bend and hide on ledges, betwixt rocks and thorny hedges, and often lick your fingers' edges, because my joy loves playing coy. Since my joy loves even what destroys, would you, my roses, still enjoy? Nietzsche begins this poem with a simple truism. Genuine expressions of joy are simply for joy's sake. They have no rationalization or even need of one. When someone gives rationalizations for expressing joy, especially when they are not genuinely connected to how they feel, Nietzsche calls this a moralisch optische Täuschung. In English, a moralo-optical delusion. Why have these delusions in the first place? Well, today it's a common perception that the world is full of suffering. Thus, anyone who expresses joy in such dark times must have a really good rationalization, or be completely out of touch with this so-called sufferous reality. In fact, modern expressions of joy tend to entirely depend on some impersonal, moral justification, like a change in the legality of something they've never done or ever intended to do, or a success by one side in some foreign war not being fought by them or by anyone they know. Nietzsche's Roses, his philosophy, seeks to dispel these moralo-optical delusions, to reconnect humanity to a natural, personal, justification-free joy. Joy solely for joy's sake. This can upset a lot of people, because many rely on moralo-optical delusions to give their past actions meaning. Since Nietzsche's work dispels these delusions, many falsely claim he dispels the meaning of their life and call him nihilistic. This is surely a thorn on Nietzsche's roses. After all, losing your moralo-optical delusions hurts. Thus, Nietzsche must not be too forward with this message. His joy must be coy or flirtatious and alluring enough to be desired and chased even through the ledges, rocks, and thorny hedges of life. Finally, Nietzsche's joy loves the world for what it is. His joy loves what creates and even what destroys. For life is not just being alive, it is also death, dissolution, destruction. Crops cannot feed the living without their soils being fed the dead. Could it be that our modern perception of the world as so full of suffering is the result of us carving out from existence what is difficult, labeling it as morally bad, then demanding any person wishing to be labeled good destroy what's been labeled bad? But we cannot destroy destruction. Believing we can is a moralo-optical delusion, one that causes us to accidentally destroy life itself. Because this delusion convinces us that our assaults against hardship improve life, when we are in reality attacking a part of life, possibly its very heart. For the ebb and flow of hardship may be the very pulse that pumps meaning into our lives, like the pulsing of laughter that demands we deflate ourselves to inflate ourselves. Nietzsche loved laughter, often describing scenes where the pulse of laughter harmonized with hardship. In his horrifying parable of the vision and the enigma, he describes a man, quote, writhing with a heavy black serpent hanging out of his mouth, biting him internally and choking him to death. This serpent represented, quote, all the heaviest and blackest ideas of life. And one strong enough to overcome this serpent will laugh well and laugh contagiously. Quote, never on earth laughed a man as he laughed. Oh, my brethren, it was a laughter which was no mere human laughter, and now gnaweth a thirst at me, a longing that is never allayed. My longing for that laughter ever gnaweth at me. End quote. So will you even these roses employ, to love what creates and destroys with no excuses to deploy, and laugh such that your joy may make more joy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then again, shatter, oh my brethren, the like button, and tatter the maxims of the world maligners in the comment section below.